There it is.
This is the MMA Takes Podcast with your host, Brian Petrie.
It's the big one. It's the Conor card, boys. UFC 257. Pick'em coming live. Devin Tejada in the building. Your boy, me, host Brian. Devin just broke something. Don't know what it was. Listen, I'm in a slump. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, okay? 2021 has not started off good for me. This is a rebound card. I think I got winners. No. I know I have winners. My locks are tight. My picks are tight. Devin said he's going to beat me. I don't think it's going to happen. He did beat me this past week, though. Had a good week. Tim Still's champ, but Dev had a good week. Devin, are you ready for this card? Because we're about to jump into it, bub. No more fluff. It's late here. Your boy's got to be up. You're a West Coast boy, but are you ready?
This card's real weird, man. There's like a lot of close pick'em fights, and then there's like a lot of heavy favorites. So it's just kind of like it's gonna be.
It's one of the better Conor cards in a while. Conor, obviously, they put Conor on the top. Everyone's gonna pay for it, and then the rest falls. The co-main event is unbelievable.
Fuck yeah! But Jessica, I
real interesting fights for me here. Let's jump in. First fight of the night. Let me get into it here. Amir Albazi, 13-1. He's a minus 107. He is fighting. This guy is going to be a hell of a name to say. Zhalgas Zhumagulov, 13-4. He's a minus 118. This is a pick'em. Our new rules state. I know it's not a dead even pick'em, but they're both in the minus.
It's a pick'em.
It's a pick'em. So the new rules: pick'em, risk'em. Whoever you pick, you have the opportunity to risk 2 points. He wins because pick'em fights are very hard to predict. He wins, you get 2 points. He loses, you get negative 2 points. Devin, you're the champ. You want me to start first? You want to start first? How you want to do this, bud?
I want you to go first because I kind of want to pick your brain on this one because this is it's an opening card fight, but like this fight actually means something. These guys are top 25, top 20 flyweights in the world. These guys are actually both really, really good fighters. It's unfortunate that they do throw guys like this as the opening card, as the curtain jerker, because these are two talented fighters. These are good fighters.
Yeah. Albazi, Amir, made his UFC debut. Malcolm Gordon submitted him with a triangle, one of the first triangle chokes in a long time. He's a finisher. I picked against him. I looked at tape on him when the Gordon fight. I've looked at tape on him since. It's never really blown me away. Didn't blow my dick off. He really hasn't. The champ. Oh, hang on. Timbo's here. Gotta pause the show for the champ. The champ is here, everybody.
Cameo from Tim.
Got daddy. But Albazi's a finisher, and he hasn't blown me away, but he is solid. Zhalgas is a guy who's going to fight you to decision. He's not going to get finished. He's a fucking rockhead. He's going to come forward. He's going to decision you. He's had close fights in the past. He's had close fights in the UFC. Where some people thought he won, some people thought he lost. He's intriguing. He's got decent takedown defense. He likes to take it down. He likes to mix up. Gordon got finished by the last. That was Sumajari finished Gordon too. That's Timbo, the champ, chiming in. But I can't hold too much stock in Albazi finishing Gordon since he is a very average fighter. He's been finished twice in the UFC. However, I always lean towards the finisher here. I'm going to lean towards Amir. I'm going to pick Amir. And since it's the first fight of the night, and since it's our first pick'em, risk'em with the new rules, I'm still creating a sound effect or a soundbite for that. I will have a soundbite up. I'm going to risk it, baby. I'm going to go Albazi. I'm going to risk the 2 points. First fight of the night. First pick'em between you and I this year. First pay-per-view of the year. I got to go off right. First fight is a pick'em. It's our new rules. First pay-per-view. Your boy is risking it.
He was my underdog lock until the fucking odds changed this morning. When I was taking a dump, I was looking at the odds and I was like, ooh, Albazi's still a dog. That's my dog in this fight. I think Zhalgas is a good fighter, another Kazakh fighter, another guy from Kazakhstan. He just, he was in the corner. He was in the corner of Umar's opponent. I can't remember the guy's name. He was a corner in that fight.
He's been in Fight Island for a little bit. Yep.
So he's
Sergey Moros was the gentleman that Umar fought.
So he's a solid fighter. I'm pretty sure he was a previous champion in a previous organization before he came to the UFC. And I just think Albazi is the better wrestler. I think he can take it into the grappling department. I think he can out-grapple him. Zhalgas had a really close fight with Raulian Paiva, a guy that I think is really, really talented. And a lot of people think he won that fight against Paiva. I am going to rock with Albazi as well. He was going to be my underdog lock, but those odds changed. And
all right, big question. You going to risk it or not, bub?
What's the other pick'em fight on the card?
The other one that I have written down is let me find it. The JoJo fight, Jessica and Joanne Calderwood. You don't have to risk it. There's no. It's just an incentive. You don't have to do it.
So, if say he wins the fight, you only get 1 point. How does that work?
No, if he wins a fight, I'll get 2 points.
And then what do I get? Nothing.
Well, yeah. We'll both get 1 point because we picked them, and then I'll get an additional 2 because I risked it.
Oh,
if he loses, I get -2. Risk it, biscuit, baby.
It's tough because I really do think he has what it takes to win the fight.
Yep.
With our point system, it's
what are you gonna do, girl? What are you gonna do?
It's almost smarter to pick Zhalgas.
Put your nuts on the table or what, man? Come on.
Motherfucker. Give me Zhalgas. I have to.
Wow.
I have to though. The way the point system works is if
it's going to be an incredibly close fight. Albazi's not finishing Zhalgas. It's going to come down to probably the third round, and we'll see if they have cardio or not. I don't know much about these guys. They've only fought a handful of times in the UFC, if that. I mean, I know Albazi's only had one. I think Zhalgas has had
one.
He had one against Pongo was his first one. Mm-hmm. For some reason, I thought he fought again. He does have a good win over Ali Bagatinov, but that was outside the UFC. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not a dumb pick or anything like that. I mean, listen, it's a pick and fight for a reason. You went opposite of me. You could be up 1. I could be down 2 points. This is a big swing here. I can see what you're doing. All right, next up, Nick Lentz plus 420, hefty dog versus Mozart Ivalov, who is a minus 560. This kid is the stud around town. Everyone loves him. Devin, how you handicapping this fight, bud?
What worries me about Nick Lentz is his eye issues. That's a problem. Yeah, I'm not going Nick Lentz. Sorry, Tim. He doesn't know anything about Ivalev, probably. That's probably why he's saying that.
Taking shots at the champ.
Evloev is a super talented dude. What worries me is that he's a small featherweight, and I know this is a catchweight. I think it's a catchweight of 150.
On my paper is 145, but this paper was wrong on Wednesday, so you might be right. I don't know if it's a catchweight or not.
I'm 90% sure it's a catchweight bout, just because it was short notice. Evloev, the last dude that Evloev fought, he broke his jaw.
Mike Grundy.
Broke Grundy's jaw. Evloev is really good. He's just a small 45er. He could probably fight at bantamweight. Evloev is really, really talented. He's got good striking, really, really good grappling. He's a really, really good chain grappler. He knows when to use his energy in the grappling department as well. He's not one of those guys that's just gonna chase a single leg and not get it. He knows when to grapple. I'm gonna go Evloev. I just think I think Lentz is a middle of the road fighter. He's got a good high kick. He's a pretty big 145er. He's switched, 145 and 155 all throughout his career. I just think he's seen his better days. He's had a lot of wars. He's had eye problems. If Evloev broke Mike Grundy's jaw, what's going to happen when he punches Nick Lentz right in his fucking eye? And the ref has to stop the fight because it's a doctor stoppage because his eye fell out of his head.
Yeah, it's tempting to take Lentz. Simply because his wrestling background. He is a phenomenal wrestler. He's really good. I have yet to see really anybody out wrestle Nick Lentz. I've seen Charles Oliveira out grapple him, out transition him, but Nick Lentz is a really good wrestler. Ivalev is a good grappler himself, good striker, and he's fought some really good wrestlers. Mike Grundy is a fantastic wrestler.
Good.
Ivalev stopped him everywhere. He's a big guy for 145 too. Grundy is. 420 is interesting. I don't like the line. I think he's 13-0. He is a very good fighter. I see him winning this fight. I'm picking Evloev too. I'm not going to bet this fight. It's way too chalky for me. I'm not even going to put in a parlay. I like Evloev a lot. I think he is good. He is a little undersized for the division, but he's in shape. His cardio is on point. Nick Lentz coming off an injury, the eye injury. I don't know how confident he is, right? His stand-up is getting better. He's got a good high kick. He's got tricky kicks that people don't realize. But I just think Evloev is better everywhere. I think he's better on the stand-up. I think he's better on the ground. I just think Nick Lentz can pose problems with wrestling, but I just don't think he'd be able to wrestle this kid for rounds. There's just no way. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go chalk too. I'm gonna go Evelev.
It's chalky. The number is high, but
when you're this good of a fighter like Umar Nurmagomedov, he was chalky. I took him.
Yeah, dude, you got to.
You got special fighters out there that sometimes you got to go chalk. I mean, you might not be able to play him. This might be a little unbettable. Some people are going to go Nick Lentz at 420 because they might like the shot in the dark. They might like the number, but I'm going to go Evelev here. All right, next up fight I'm looking forward to a lot. Andrew Sanchez, who is 12-5. He's a plus 118 underdog. He's fighting Makhmud Muradov, who's 24-6, a minus 138 favorite. I lead the dance here. I love me Makhmud. I love this guy. I think this guy is super talented. Signed with Floyd Mayweather, one of the only, I believe, was the first the only MMA fighter signed with Mayweather. Trains in Vegas. What country is he from? Do you know?
He's not Russian, but I know he's somewhere from that part of the world.
He was the first from Uzbekistan to be in the UFC. Kid's talented. He's got great hands. He's fought some decent wrestlers. And Andrew Sanchez is coming off a knockout win. This guy, I can't get right. He's a curse for me, right? His grappling's good. He makes it ugly, but he's with Faraz now, so his stand-up's getting trickier. Kind of got like a karate style. His punches come at weird angles. He could give Makhmud some fits if he really wants to wrestle, because Sanchez is a grimy dude like that. That's how he basically did really well in the Ultimate Fighter. That's how he got a lot of early wins. Since he's coming off a knockout win, if he decides to stand with Makhmud, I think that's a really bad idea. I think this kid's
going to sleep.
Boxing special and his power special as well. The line is low because no one knows who Makhmud is. He hasn't fought in a while. He hasn't really fought many people. And Andrew Sanchez has been a little active. But they see the talent there. That's why he's only a slight favorite. But 138, you hammer that. You hammer it to the fucking moon. Yeah. I'm taking Makhmud. Maybe do a little prop too. Finish prop. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but Dev, I'll look at the finish prop. You break down the fight.
Yeah, what worries me is Andrew Sanchez fighting, with Faraz and really, really tuning up his stand-up and coming off a knockout. Mm-hmm. Like being a confident striker against Makhmud it's not a good fucking idea.
Let me just interject right there. Makhmud is plus 185 to win by KO. Andrew Sanchez have a good chin, but by points is plus 310. I think there's option there for your props.
You can bet them both.
Yeah,
hedge it. Just bet them both. I think he's the only MMA guy, to my knowledge, that's signed with Money Team. Right. He's got really good dynamic striking. He's one of the only guys in MMA that's a stand-up striker that actually uses a real L-step with his footwork. Like he'll cut an angle, he'll have an exchange in the pocket.
Getting fancy with it, love it.
Well, it's true. He'll fucking get in the pocket, dude. He'll get in the pocket, and he'll throw like a 1-2 in the pocket, cut an L-step, and then boom, fire an uppercut. And he's still in the pocket. The angles change, and he'll slip an uppercut in there and just fucking blast people's head off. He is fucking ass. Dude, he's slick. He's got slick striking, fast hands. A lot of guys that have slick striking and fast hands don't have big power, but he's got fucking big power too. He's a real dangerous striker. He's someone to watch out for. I think when the lines first opened, I think Sanchez was a favorite when the lines first opened. Probably. Which was if you were able to get Makhmud as a dog, that's like finding a golden nugget.
Ohio opened up fucking betting, and I could bet for my house. I would, and I saw that line as a dog, I would have taken it. But yeah,
you hammer it.
So you're taking
the line,
right? Go ahead.
I just don't. Andrew Sanchez is a weird fucking fighter. Like he's got a weird record. He did well in the Ultimate Fighter. He's been hurt in fights. He's also out grappled dudes like against Anthony Smith. Like he was doing really, really well, beating Anthony Smith, and then he gassed out and lost. I just think even if he out wrestles Makhmud for a round and a half and comes out in the beginning of the third round and he's tired, he can just get put out, just by being tired.
He has a trouble dealing with footwork. I picked him as a big dog against Marvin Vettori, a year or two ago. And Vettori, good stand-up striker. Boxing's good, right? But it's not like flawless. he has really good footwork, and he really shut down Andrew Sanchez's wrestling game. I think that's what Makhmed's going to do here. I think he's going to piece him up. I think it's going to be a good win. All right, we're both on Makhmed there. Love that bet. Next up, Khalil Roundtree. He was a minus 360 favorite. He is 8-4. He is fighting Marcin Prachnio, who was 13-5. He's a plus 290. Dev, who you like? You like Roundtree? You like Prachnio here, bub?
Roundtree by knockout.
Yeah, that's the easiest call. Roundtree. I'm gonna do the same. Prachnio's every single fight in UFC he's lost by knockout. He has no chin. Khalil Roundtree hits like a fucking truck. He moved to Thailand for the better part of last year. I don't know if he's still there or not, but he was out there. His striking is really good. I think he has a little bit of a mental problem sometimes, a mental block, because sometimes he looks like a world beater, other times he does not. But I do think he's really, really good. And this is a perfect matchup for him. This is a knockout. This is a prop. I looked at the prop already because, I mean, everyone's going to go prop KO.
Is it plus? Is it plus number?
It's minus 180 for a KO. That's just KO. I mean, you could probably get it lower if you want to go KO round one. But KO, for him to win by KO, is minus 180. I would do that. I would do under 1.5. And then that way you're getting out from the minus 360, which is a steep price for Khalil Roundtree, even though I like it. I like it in a parlay. I like it any which way. That was an easy fight. Next up, Sarah McMahon, 12-5, minus 134 favorite. She is fighting Juliana Pena, 9-4, plus 110 dog. I go first here. It's a good women's fight. Sarah McMahon is someone who I've never really got on the train. I used to be really high on Pena. She had a kid. She took some years off. I feel like that took her edge away. She used to be kind of, you want to fight her, she used to be mean. She used to be a savage in there. Motherhood maybe changed that a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But Sarah McMahon is a freak athlete. Everyone knows that. She's the wrestling coach at Team Alpha Male. She has taken a lot of female fighters under her wing, and she's been around forever. She's a solid woman fighter. She gets hurt a little bit, right? She's been hurt with striking. She's been submitted before, but her wrestling is top notch. Juliana Pena has good wrestling as well. It's not on the level of Sarah McMahon. I think Pena is going to get taken down over and over again. I think it's going to be fairly competitive in the scrambles, but I just see Sarah McMahon taking over. I'm going to pick Sarah McMahon, minus 134 favorite. I don't love it. I like it. I don't love it. I might bet it. I might not. Fuck me. Dev, who you got?
This was a pretty tough fight because these girls like to do the same thing. They really do like to come out, try to put a pace on you and try to grapple you, try to get on top, try to have top control. That's both of their games. Just like you said, Pena used to be real vicious. She took time off. She had her kid. She came back. She got, her last fight, she got put to sleep by GDR. She got, slipped in a standing guillotine. Doesn't happen often. Doesn't happen often from GDR at all, actually. No. That's worrisome. If GDR is catching you in a standing – the thing that people don't realize about a standing guillotine is it's 100% a submission that you have to take it in that moment. You have to grab it when it's there. It's not a submission you can hunt down. It's not something you can tactically chase. It's not like, take someone down, get in half guard, and put him in an arm triangle. It's not a submission like that. A standing guillotine is someone shoots a bad takedown and you take it by chance. GDR is a big, long, strong chick, long limbs. I can see why she got caught in that submission. But at the same time, putting herself in that bad situation and not having the right fight IQ, being a wrestler, you can't leave your neck out when you're shooting those shots. I was torn on this fight, but I do think Sarah McMahon is the stronger girl. She's 40 years old. That's a little bit worrisome, but it's also women's MMA. And I don't think things like that make as much of a difference in women's MMA as they do in men's MMA. I'm going to go with Sarah McMahon as well. I just think she's going to take her down and lay on top of her. Even if she has success for 2 rounds and then the third one is close, I still think that she will be able to edge the fight. I think McMahon should take the win.
Yep. Next up, Brad Tavares, BT, minus 144, 17-6. Minus 144 favorite, excuse me. Antonio Carlos Jr., better known as Shoeface, one of the best nicknames in all of MMA, because the guy's face is long like a shoe. That's why they named him that. He is a plus 118 underdog. Dev, you go first here. He's 10-4, Shoeface, versus Brad Tavares, classic striker versus grappler. Who you going with, man? Huh? Who you going?
I'm taking Shoeface. Give me the dog.
Give him the dog. You want dog.
I think What's weird too is if you look at Shoeface's reach, he has one of the longest reaches in the division. He has actually a really crazy long reach. If you look it up, you're gonna be like, "What the? I think it's like 78 inches or something like that." He's got almost an 80.
My reach is 81 inches.
Is it really?
No, it's like 67. It's not that long.
Oh, so he's got a long reach, but he never uses it. Obviously, he's a grappler. He wants to get you against a cage. He wants to He wants to take you down. He wants to sub you. He wants to squeeze your head off.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think Brad Tavares has enough power to make Shoeface back up and try to fight off the back foot. I think Shoeface can walk him down, take his strikes, put him against the cage, and even if he can't take him down, it will look similar to the Ian Heinisch fight, but Brad Tavares is not nearly as good of a scrambler and not nearly as athletic as Ian Heinisch. Ian Heinisch was just like, it's like when you're playing a video game and someone's just like hitting all the buttons and he's just doing the Granby roll over and over and over again. Like he just kept Granby rolling out of everything. I don't think Brad Tavares is capable of that. I like Shoeface as an underdog. I think he can just put him against a cage. Even if he can't take him down, he can nullify the striking and win with octagon control and just make it dirty and grind him against a cage.
I originally liked Shoeface earlier in the week. I really dove deep in Brad Tavares' his record and looked at some tape of him. He doesn't really get out grappled all that much. A lot of his losses come from him getting clipped on the feet, right? For being a striker and being a guy he gets clipped on the feet. He's not world class on the ground. He went to the ground with Izzy Adesanya and got dominated in that decision, but he's pretty good at stopping some takedowns. His cardio, I think, is maybe an issue a little bit. He's not like a fucking cardio machine. Antonio Carlos Jr. is coming off a couple ugly losses here. He's a guy that I was high on for a little bit. I think he's really good at getting the fight to the ground and getting him where he wants to go, and he's really dangerous on the ground with submission. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get Brad Tavares down. Maybe late, and you're right. He could win a decision. It could be ugly. Grind him against the cage and really just in making Brad Tavares work and defend takedowns. But I see Brad Tavares being a little bit more athletic here and just using his experience to stay away from Shoeface. And I'm going to take Brad Tavares. Again, I was on Shoeface early this week, but I'm going to go a little chalky. I'm going to go Brad Tavares. He's minus 144. That's not crazy. Again, I'm not super confident. I just think Shoeface, people can figure him out a little bit that nobody wants to do. And I don't think he's not a Khabib. Like Khabib, everyone knows what Khabib wants to do.
They can't stop it.
They can't stop it. They know what Shoeface wants to do, and I think they can stop it. So I'm going to go Brad Tavares here. He hasn't fought in a little bit. He seems rejuvenated. He's coming off a horrible knockout by Edmund Shabazian, knocked him out. He's taking some time off.
Bad.
It's a bad knockout. So I think this is a good bounce back spot for him. All right, we split. Finally, you don't ride my coat.
Jesus.
Next up, Arman Tsarukyan. Tsarukyan. All right, there you go. Arman Tsarukyan minus 290. He is fighting he's 15-2. He's fighting Nasrat Haqparast. He is 12-3 at a plus 225 underdog. I go first here. Listen, Nasrat is the guy. What?
Take the dog. Go ahead.
No, because I like Tsarukyan a lot. He showed me a lot in his loss to Makhachev, Islam, and he's looked good since then. Good striker, good grappler, well built, young kid. Nasrat's a guy who I went on. My boy Matt Hellberg. Matt Hellberg is here. That's my dude. What's up, buddy? He's here at every live show. But Nasrat's a guy who's almost Jimmy Crute level. I went on and I fucking embarrassed myself and said he was going to be Drew Dober, and Drew Dober stomped him. He came out of last fight and he looked he looked like a guy who just got knocked out. Arman's not going to give a shit. Arman's going to push the pace. He's going to make him grapple. He's going to make him work. He's going to make him strike. Haqparast is the better striker, probably. He's a little bit more powerful. Arman, I think, is a little more tighter. And then I think Arman's just going to be a little bit more younger, cardio, and I think he's going to get the fight to the ground and really show out. I think it's going to be a decision win. I don't think anyone's going to finish anybody here. I would go over the rounds. But I like Arman here big. I like this young kid a lot. I already know who you like, but go ahead.
Yeah, the second I watched him fight Islam, I was like, this kid's fucking good. He's one of those dudes where 3 minutes into the first round, I'm like, yeah, this guy's really fucking good. You can see the talent. What he did to Davi Ramos, he nullified a big grappler, outstruck him, pieced him up. I think Arman Tsarukyan is a all-around better fighter than Nasrat Haqparast. I think he's a better striker. He's not more powerful. Nasrat is the more powerful striker, but I do believe that Tsarukyan is one of the most well-rounded guys at 155. Like, he's fucking young. He came in as a late replacement to fight Islam and made a great account of himself. Like,
he's 24 years old, just turned 24 in October. Armenian, fighting out of Russia, just a fucking stud.
He's just so good. He's next to Khabib and Charles Oliveira. Like, who's a better scrambler than him? And these are guys that are ranked number 1 and 2. Who's a better scrambler than him in the division? Like, this guy could fuck around and fight RDA next year and beat him. You know what I mean? Like, he's that good. Like, he's really, really good. He's a great grappler. He's got great scrambles. He has a good gas tank. He's got good tight striking. I'm really, really high on him. I think he's going to be ranked by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. I really think he's that good of a talent. And I mean, Nasrat hits hard. He could come out here and fucking hit him on the chin and put him out. He's known for that. But I just think Arman has too many tools. His toolkit is too big and too deep. And I just think he's going to come out here, make Haqparast tired, make him scramble. Arman doesn't get tired. That's what he grew up doing. He's a great, great wrestler. Great scrambles, great transitions. All he's got to do is come out here and take him down and put a pace on him and make him scramble. He's got a similar grappling style to Merab. It's a really, really similar style to Merab, where it's just like constant takedowns, constant scrambles, constant takedown, constant scrambles. If he does that, I mean, that's a problem for almost anybody. Like, it's also similar to Chiesa, someone that can just take you down and make you fucking scramble and win every scramble. I think he's a really good talent.
Solid prospect, both on Arman. I think that's a good bet if you're out there. He's not crazy. I think he'll probably maybe go into the 300s, but right now minus 290 to me as an up and coming kid. I don't think that's crazy. Next up, main card time. Your lady, the girl you talk about more than anybody in the world. Amanda Ribas. She's a minus 355 favorite. She is 10-1. She's fighting Marina Rodriguez. I pronounced that name right, Devin. Fucker. She is a plus 270 underdog. She is 12-1-2. She's 12-1-2. I did Armand. Yeah, you go first, Dev. I know you.
You already know I'm taking
Ribas.
She's on my. But Marina Rodriguez is really fucking good. She's another. This is a great fight. This is like they're no longer looking to build Amanda Ribas. Like, this is a serious fight for her. Rodriguez is a really, really good talent. She's got good striking, good grappling. I just think Ribas has I mean, you already know I like her, but what I like about her fighting style is like she's a mean fighter. Like, she fights mean. She comes out there, she puts a pace on you, she'll outstrike you, she'll outgrapple you. If she gets a submission, she's taking your arm home. Like, she comes out there and she's not playing. Her sweet girl attitude leaves the second she steps inside the octagon. And I just think I don't like the number. It's a high favorite.
Sorry.
Like, that's a big favorite. Marina Rodriguez is a good fighter. The reason why that is there is because the UFC is putting a lot of hype behind Amanda. They're giving her a lot of attention. Everybody knows who she is. And that's the reason why that line's there. But I do like her in this fight. I just think she does everything better.
This is tough, right? Because MMA is very poetic in a certain way, where these stars that they try to build, sometimes they have the walls coming craving down. Joaquin Buckley, it's happened a million times. Nate Diaz doing that to Conor many years ago. It was a surprise to a lot of people. Amanda Ribas is getting a lot of publicity. She's sitting next to the boss. She's adorable. She is very energetic. Every media member that talks with her raves about her energy. She's a fantastic fighter. She's beaten some really good. I mean, say what you want about Paige VanZant, but she finished Paige VanZant by an armbar, and PSV Paige isn't the worst fighter in the world. She beat Mackenzie Dern, who is my girl, beat her brick to brick, pillar to pillar. She has a knockout loss by Paulina Viana back in Brazil, which, that was a million years ago, so it is whatever. I just can't get behind the train. I'm going to go the under here. I'm going to go Marina Rodriguez. Mine plus 270 is too enticing to me.
That's a spite pick. That's a spite pick. That's a spite pick.
No chance.
That's a spite pick.
Solid dog play. I haven't played many dogs on this card, Dev. I've played have I even played one? I mean, no. This is my first dog play, dude. Like, I me. I'm a dog hunter. Like, I'm Dog the Bounty Hunter, okay? I think Rodriguez is good. I think this is going to be a very competitive fight. I think this is it's a really good fight for both women to really know where they're at, right? I think Ribas, she's the favorite for a reason. I think she's very talented. She has skills. People rave about her. If she goes out and dominates this fight, even though Marina Rodriguez, I love how I'm saying that fucking name, by the way. I know she's not as known as a Mackenzie Dern, as a Paige Van Zandt, but in
She's just good.
the MMA circles, as guys like me and you, we know, oh, that's a big fucking win, especially if she dominates her. But Rodriguez, I think, is very solid and can give her problems here. I think this could be a close fight. I think this could be a decision fight, and we'll really see what Amanda Ribas has going. 3 hard rounds with a girl who's not going to quit. All right, next up, really good fight. This is a fight I've been telling people to watch because no one really knows who these guys are. Ottoman Atazar, -1 favorite, 12-0, 13-0. What are you saying? Did I mispronounce his name?
No, you nailed it. But this guy, like, this is one dude that I don't think anyone hits harder than him at 155.
No, he cracks, dude. He's fighting Matt Steamroller Favola, as Ray Longo said. He's 8-1-1. He's a +136 underdog. I go first, right? Yeah, you just went first. Listen, Ottman hits like a fucking truck. Matt Favola's been knocked out, right? That's on paper. That's on record. Ottman, though, you know, he showed me a lot in the Karma Worthy fight. We all were on Karma Worthy. We all like Karma Worthy. He was a slight dog, and he put him out. Worthy has been knocked out before. Problem is Matt Favola isn't a stand-up fighter. He likes to get grimy. He likes to get in there. He likes to grapple you. Haven't seen that much from Ottman. The guy's a fucking killer. I've looked up tape on him outside the UFC. He's a legit killer. But when these guys come in with these really quick knockouts in the UFC, they're getting high. When you get a guy like Matt Favola, who's not going to go away, you know, he was buzzed by Jalen Turner, kept coming. He was buzzed by Luis Pena, kept coming. My only concern is Favola hasn't fought in a while. Ottman hits like a fucking truck. He's a powerful guy. I think there's some parts to his game I want to see. Favola, his stand-up is getting better. His defense needs to get a lot better. I think he's got an okay chin. He's been hurt a lot in his fights. He's been put out before, but I think if he cleans up his defense, when he gets inside, he wants to make it ugly. He wants to get wrestling going. He wants to get the fight to the ground. That's what he did with Jalen Turner. That's what he did with Luis Pena. I think that's what he's going to do with Ottman. I'm going dog here. I'm going Matt Favola, the steamroller Favola, by a grimy, just a fucking elbow grease decision. Look at my face. Just a fucking decision. I just think this could be an ugly fight. I think Ottman's going to give him a scare in that first round. And I think this is a really good matchmaking because I think this Ottman kid obviously has one punch knockout power. He's got the fucking death touch. And if he could really get something going here, Favola's a good step up because it's a good stylistically matchup. Like, oh, I can beat a grappler. Let me get the next guy. This kid could be something else here at this weight class. But I'm going to go Favola, +136 underdog. Give me the dog, man. Hey, he's from Long Island. My mom's from Long Island. Forget about it.
My dad's from that area too. My dad's from Amityville. Let me ask you a question. How many wins by finish do you think Ottman has?
I just looked this up. He has 13 wins, and I'm going to say maybe 12 of the 13 are by finish. 11 or 13. All of them? I thought he had a decision win on there, man. Damn.
All of them are by finish. I think 11 of them are knockouts, and one is a submission and one doesn't say. He is. I don't think he's.
Bro, no, he's got a decision in there. It's right in front of your face.
Is it?
2016, he fought Kevin Kodolski, won by decision. Dev trying to.
Oh, I lied. Sorry.
13, yeah, bro. Damn. Wow.
Dude,
trying to get me, dude.
Are you on Tapology?
I was on Tapology. Yeah, don't go to Wikipedia. You in a bum.
Yeah, that was stupid. But regardless, 12 of 13 wins by finish.
My boy Mac, he's on the dog too. We don't need meows. We need more dogs.
Yeah, I'm going with Ottman too. I think that he's gonna probably buzz him, hurt him, finish him. I think he just hits so hard. His knockout against Timu Pakalin, that was one of the scariest fucking knockouts I've ever seen. Yeah, ESPN,
the guy hasn't woken up yet. Still, it's
bro. That shit was actually shit was actually scary, man.
I know, he killed him.
That's like something you see like as a kid, like on a football field. A kid takes a real bad hit, and all of a sudden they're like, "I think we need to call a helivac."
To me, what it's like, I don't know if you ever experienced this when you were a kid. The most scared I ever got was a kid is my real dad, rest in peace, R.I.P. I didn't have a good relationship, but when I was young, he had the worst road rage ever, and he would get out of his car and go up to the guy in front of him. They start jawing, and I'm terrified. Like two grown men yelling when you're like 5 or 6, you're like, what the fuck is happening? That's the scariest thing I've ever seen, I think. But yeah, that's a close second. Seeing that fucking guy almost get dead.
Well, it's like he hit him with a hammer in his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, Khama Worthy has finishes too as well. Like, we don't know. It's on paper that he doesn't have a great chin. Ottman just hits so hard, and I don't think he's like a Khama Worthy type. Not Khama Worthy. I don't think he's like a Chaos Williams type guy to where it's like, yeah, he has 2 impressive finishes, but like he kind of pop out of nowhere. Like Ottman is known for finishing. He's known for having big power. He's got great punch placement. I think he's a problem at this division. He doesn't throw a lot of crazy straight shots. He just has a really fast overhand. And when he clips people with that, they're fucking fried, as you can tell. I leaned Frevola when the fight first got announced because they've tried to make this fight, and then I think Ottman had to pull out a couple months ago. So this is a rebooking. I just think Ottman is good enough and has enough power.
Whenever there's a proving fight, a lot of the times I go the hot hand. I go the guy who's got that, like a Buckley last weekend or something like that. I always go for the hot hand. Eventually, people slow down. I mean, listen, Ottman, I don't think is going to knock out everybody he sees in the UFC. Yeah. There's going to be a guy that's going to give him a fight. I'm just hoping that's Matt Frevola. That's what gambling is. And plus 136, I like it. All right, next up. One of my least favorite people in the entire world. I don't know her personally, but she's back so bad. Jessica Eye, minus 106, 15-8. She's fighting Joanne Calderwood, who probably is like the sweetest person in the world. Her voice is adorable. She's a minus 114. This is a pick'em. She is 14-5. Dev, you go first here, bud. You got to lead the dance on this pick'em fight. What do you got here?
Did you see the interview with Jessica Eye where she was like, when I missed weight, nobody asked me if I was okay?
Her sound bites are ridiculous. She said something online, or maybe I read it online, and maybe she do an interview. She's like, yeah, like I don't get too much negative stuff on my Twitter, and when I get negative stuff, it's like, why? Everyone likes me. Or she said something like that. I'm like, bitch, no one likes you. Like, what are you talking about?
Just like no sense of fucking reality.
Yeah,
like
no self-awareness. I love the bulletproof vest thing she wore, and then she got killed by Valentina. Like,
that would have been dope if you would have won.
Sure. Wear it after. Don't wear it before. You look like an asshole. Problem with Jessica Eye, though, is she has a lot of fucking wins. She knows how to win a fight. She's one of these point fighters that's going to take you to decision. She's not a finisher. She has good cardio.
She's big too.
Yeah, and she's big and she wins. And that's like, I wish she was like just really, really shitty, which I don't think she's great, but like she's never gonna be champion. But she does get some wins over these girls, and it's infuriating. All right,
good enough to get knocked out. Go
ahead and pick Jessica Eye so we can move on. I want to talk about.
I think Calderwood is also a good fighter. I think Calderwood probably has the edge in the striking department, but she showed against Jennifer Maia. I mean, Jennifer Maia turned out to be better than a lot of us thought she was. Jennifer Maia is a good grappler. She showed that I think if her and Jennifer Maia fight again, I think Jennifer Maia beats Joanne Calderwood again. I think people just did.
Yeah, she's solid.
So I think Jessica Eye can take her down, can make it nasty. But as a pick'em, I just think Joanne Calderwood is the better striker. I think she's a little bit smaller. I don't know if she has as much power, but neither one of them are going to finish each other. I just think Joanne Calderwood could beat her on volume, even in the exchange. If it's 3-1 the whole fight, technically the judges should score for her if she outlands her, 3-2.
Yeah,
with similar power. So I think Joanne Calderwood can edge her in the striking and avoid the takedown department, and I think she could win the fight.
I'm taking Joanne Calderwood. I think Joanne has better striking. That's what she's known for. Jessica make some takedowns in there. Joe has made some improvements off her back. She does have an armbar win a couple fights ago off her back. She's not super in depth now. I think the Jennifer Maia fight, that was a fight to see who's going to fight Valentina. I think JoJo got in her way a little bit. I don't think she really wanted to fight Valentina. I don't think she was ready. She kind of laid an egg in that Jennifer Maia fight. I see her coming back more motivated than ever. I think this is a solid matchup. Now, here's the question. Fight. Are you going to risk them? Are you risking 2 points here? Are you saying yes? Or you're coughing?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm saying yes. I'm taking her. I think with our point system, it's smart, and I think she can win the fight. You already risked your 2, so I'll fucking put my nuts on the table too.
You can risk as many as you want. There's no limit. Every pick 'em fight, you can risk as many as you want. We have 2. If this whole card was a pick 'em, we could risk them all if we wanted to.
You did it. I'm gonna do it. If you jumped, I'll jump too.
You
are too?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh. All right, whatever.
Yeah, we could both get -2. Why not? You're doing it, I'm doing it. Fuck it. All right, listen. Get to the meat of the card. Let's get to why people are fucking.
I thought you could only do it once. I didn't know you could do it.
Nah, we can make that rule if you like that better, but I mean,
I do. I feel conned.
Okay, well then I won't risk it. Then go ahead. We made.
Because I would have done it with the other dude. Then I didn't know.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Listen, this is a collaborative effort. I'm not a dictator. Okay, I'm a very responsive guy. If you think we should only be able to risk it once, that's a fair rule. I think that's smart. You're risking it here. I'm risking it on the first one.
Everything else is once. All of our other.
That's fine. Right. Okay. Good point. Let's get to why everyone's here. Let's get to the fucking meat. Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker, co-main event. Listen, the winner of this fight's going to fight for the belt. Khabib's not coming back. Let's just be honest. The winner of this is going to fight the winner of the main event, I think. Okay. Dan Hooker, -142 favorite. He is 20-9 or something like that. Michael Chandler, 21-6. He is a +118, 116, depending where you get him. Underdog. I go first here, I believe, right? Yeah, you went first last time. This fight is the hardest fight to pick on the thing. I like Dan Hooker. I picked Dan Hooker a lot. Picked him against Poirier. I picked him against Felder. I like that city kickboxing gym. Dan Hooker is a tall guy for this division. He's 6 foot. I looked it up. Michael Chandler has fought 3 people over 5'10". Brett Primus is 5'10", 5'11", and he's fought Dave Rickle, who's 6 foot. Michael Chandler is 5'6", 5'7", not the biggest guy in the world. So there's going to be a height discrepancy here. Dan Hooker, I think, has better or underrated takedown defense. You don't really see him get wrestle fucked as much anymore. And I think there's a reason for that. I think he has a good guillotine. I think his leverage with his length is really good. When he gets tired, he can get taken down. He does gas. The last 2 fights he had, Paul Felder, Dustin Poirier, 5-round fights, he gassed bad. This is a 3-round fight. So I think by the 3rd round, if Chandler really wants to wrestle fuck him, that could be the game plan here. I'm worried about Chandler jumping in. Chandler's a shorter guy. He explodes with his punches. That's what he did when he knocked out Benson Henderson. He likes to jump in with big hooks to kind of cover that reach disadvantage. Dan Hooker's got great knees up the middle. He's got a really good counter. He's really going forward. Michael Chandler is very confident this week. I like his confidence. Dan Hooker's smiling. It's almost like he knows something. He's been in Dubai for a month. He's been preparing. This is a big win for him, especially since Dana kind of put the stakes up last week where Khabib, if you show something interesting, which I think is kind of bullshit, but regardless, the winner of this and the winner of the main event, they're going to fight for the title. So this is a potential Dan Hooker versus Conor McGregor fight, which there could be no bigger fight for Dan Hooker. I'm talking about Dan Hooker a lot. However, Michael Chandler, a lot of people, some of my friends that are casuals don't know Michael Chandler that much. He's a former champion of Bellator. I think everyone watching this or listen to this knows him. I'm not going to school you on who he is. He's got a lot of wins on his record. He's got a lot of good wins as well. He's got some bad losses. And he's been weathered a little bit with his style, but he's in incredible shape. This guy is ready to go. He's laser focused in. I see Dan Hooker giving him really big problems in that first round. I just don't like Dan Hooker's defense. I could be way off on this fight. I'm going to be honest with you. I think you should fade me on this. I don't have the best read on this, but I'm going to go Michael Chandler as the underdog here. I'm going to go Michael Chandler as the underdog. I like the underdog number. I think he could wrestle later in the fight and really wear down Dan Hooker. I'm just a little worried about those beginning rounds. I think Dan's going to be able to stop some takedowns. And when Michael Chandler comes in, he can get hit with something with a knee. Dan Hooker's got a great up knee, knocked out Gilbert Burns with it. He does have some power to him. I just think Michael Chandler is in prime and ready to go. This is a big debut. Again, speaking about MMA being poetic, a lot of guys that come over that had a lot of hype before the UFC haven't done well in the UFC. Eddie Alvarez came over, got pieced up by Donald Cerrone. The Underground King, Gilbert Melendez, comes over, doesn't have a good look. A lot of people are there's a lot of people that come over. There's some people that come over and do great, like Quick Rampage Jackson. I mean, he came over and he became champion right away. But there's some guys who have a lot of hype, and people have been wanting, including myself, have been wanting Michael Chandler in the UFC for a long time. We have him now. He could fall flat. I almost want to fade myself, but I can't. I gotta tell you guys what I'm thinking. I'm leaning Chandler here. Dev, who do you like, bud? Big fucking fight, dude.
Yeah. Who do you think's been in more wars?
Lately, or Hooker, right? Because Hooker took some shots against Poirier. That was a fucking slugfest. But
even against Felder too.
Yeah, Felder too. Hooker's never been knocked out before. Chandler has been knocked out.
Eddie out, and fucking
Patricio knocked him out, and Eddie Alvarez didn't knock him out. I think
Barboza knocked out Hooker.
That was
Barboza finished Hooker.
Oh yeah, that was just more of like my ribs are broken. Like he didn't get put out. Right. Yeah, he withered. He took a beat and was like, I don't want it anymore. Yeah, but he didn't get put out. Chandler got put out by Patricio. Kind of a fluke punch, if you ask me. Will Brooks TKO'd him in the 4th round, which is such a weird. Will Brooks came to the UFC and fell flat, and Michael Chandler could not beat Will Brooks, which is so funny to me. Go ahead.
Like that scares me. That scares me though. I think if it was a 5-round fight, the odds are in even more Chandler's favor because I think Chandler has the better cardio.
Yeah, sure. If it was a 5-round fight, I think he'd be a favorite.
I supposedly there's been rumblings that the UFC is trying to extend other bouts.
Yeah, I heard that.
Like which needs to happen because y'all just put the fucking pay-per-view up by $5.
Yeah.
Why? You have your own athletic commission in Abu Dhabi. Sure. Why the fuck can't Chandler and fucking Hooker be a 5-round fight? Give those dudes like what do you think Chandler's making? Probably like $250.
Matt says Dan Hooker rubs me the wrong way. LMLO. Do you think does Dan Hooker rub you the wrong way?
I don't like him that much. I don't like his personality.
I think he hosts his own podcast. I've listened to it. I like that he's a fan of the sport. Like some of these fighters are like too cool to watch. Like I don't watch, I don't.
I hate that.
That's dumb, right? He's a fan of sport. He has his own podcast. Not the greatest podcast in the world. He seems like a nice guy, but I can understand what. Like he's not really talking much shit. He used to talk like with the Felder fight, even with the Poirier fight. He had this confidence where he was like the best in the world. He's kind of dialed back on that. Yeah, I need a pick from you, Dev. I'm
stuck because I think Hooker is a really he's not only is he a hard he's a hard like he throws hard shots. He's a good striker. He's technical, but he's also tenacious. Like that's one thing he does is like he's willing to stay in your face, stay at range, get in the pocket. He has great range. He's probably the tallest and longest guy in that division. He's a big fucking dude at 55.
Yeah.
Can you believe he fought at 145? Jesus Christ. I have a weird feeling that Chandler is going to come out here and out wrestle him. I think Hooker's takedown defense is good, but I think a guy like Chandler that is really, really confident in his grappling, he's really, really confident. He came over here, he made weight. He was supposed to fill in for Khabib and Justin. I think that he's either going to come out here and really impress us all, or it's going to be like I told you so. He did not belong in the UFC. It's one or the other. Like either he's going to come out here and really impress the fuck out of everybody, or Hooker's going to finish him in the 2nd round.
Right. You're going Hooker 2nd round finish. Let me write it down.
No, I'm going Chandler as well. I think Chandler's going to come out and just out wrestle him. I think he's going to put a pace on him. Hooker can fight at a great pace.
Yeah.
But it's like, can he fight at a chain wrestling pace? He can fight at a really high pace striking pace, but
one thing that we got to look out for is Michael Chandler notoriously rolls his ankles. He gets leg kicked a lot, right? Brett Primus hit him in his legs. He had a drop foot, which is what they call it. Same thing Sean O'Malley had, where Sean O'Malley quit. The whole stool gate thing where he fell because they pulled the stool was just complete bullshit. I don't think Michael Chandler's going to quit like O'Malley did, but Dan Hooker kicked the fuck out of Quinta's legs. That's something that is going to be a game plan here. He's going to fucking calf kick Chandler because Chandler has smaller legs, a bigger upper body, smaller legs, and he's been susceptible to it. We're both on Chandler.
Bet Hooker in this fight. Like, Hooker's a solid bet in this fight.
All we talked about was how good Hooker was when we both picked Chandler. Listen, Michael Chandler's a legit dude. I think if he doesn't have a problem in the beginning with takedowns, he'll be okay. I just think that first round, Hooker's going to be hard to take down. And I think Chandler's going to really – the thing about Chandler, though, is he doesn't play the outside. Like, he's all the way in, all the way out. He knows it. He's never in a boring fight. He's never not aggressive. He's a smart fighter. Cardio is always on point. And I think he's going to have a good game plan. That's why I'm going to go with him. We talked about Dan Hooker a lot. I think again, I'm telling you, you probably fade me because I do not have a great read on this fight. I'm not hot right now. I'm going Chandler with the dog points. If you're with me, let's fucking go. If you want to go Hooker and fade me, I completely understand. He's buyable at minus 142. All right. Main event time. I fucking love that this happened. This happened because Conor was frustrated. They were supposed to be a charity fight. Conor team, McGregor Sports Entertainment, ended up donating to the Good Fight Foundation. Now we got it as a main event in the UFC. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Conor McGregor is a minus 325 favorite. Dustin Poirier is a plus 250. On Monday, Conor McGregor was a plus 270. He has gone up a lot because it's Conor McGregor fight week. A lot of money's coming in on him. I love this fight for Conor. I'm a Conor guy. I almost wore my Conor shirt. I bought a new shirt from Roots of Fight. Shout out Roots of Fight. I'm actually going to wear it tomorrow and for the fight. So I didn't want to wear it 3 days in a row and be a complete fucking pig. But I'm a Conor guy. Everyone knows that. I love Conor McGregor. This is a fantastic fight. This is a fight that of all the rematches that need to happen, this is one because I think Dustin Poirier has become a completely different fighter. Devin, you're picking first. I just want to set you the scene. I know you don't love his Conor as much as I do. I know you're excited about this fight. How do you break it down? Who do you think wins?
I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Who's improved more from their first fight?
Conor McGregor.
You're crazy.
No. I think his skills are incredible. I've seen footage of him. I think his
footage or fights?
Footage of him. Well, I mean, obviously we haven't seen much fighting of him. The Khabib fight, I truly believe that Khabib's Khabib, right? He wouldn't have won that fight anyway, but he wasn't training the way he should have been. He was still fucking off. The Cowboy fight looked great, but Cowboys watched, right? The Floyd Mayweather fight, he went boxing, didn't love it, but I've seen footage of him because he hasn't fought a lot. But I like that he is using his money that he has to fuel his body. He's going to Portugal. He's secluding himself. He's flying out training partners. He's sparring with boxers.
And he looks fucking big.
He looks fucking ripped up for 155. I heard he weighs 161. He is completely shredded. This is probably the best we're going to see him at 155. He's only fought twice in the UFC at 155. I think he's ready to go. Now, with that being said, Dustin Poirier has leaps and bounds gotten so much better. I just think Conor McGregor's always going to be better than Dustin Poirier, skill-wise. But Dustin Poirier has gotten a lot better. The Max Holloway fight was fucking impressive. He really let me down in the Khabib fights. I felt like there was more fight in there. I felt like he, once he got in there and when he was like, dude, I can't get him off me. What the fuck did you expect, dude? Like, who were you training for? And then he looked great against Dan Hooker, right? His confidence has gotten better. His mindset's gotten better. I think he's a little slow and he's had a lot of injuries. I mean, that hip injury is a real fucking problem. I mean, the guy's had, yeah, you can tell he's very stiff sometimes when he throws kicks. But he's as tough as they come. He's as durable as they come. I mean, I fade him all the time. And I'm usually wrong about this, but to answer your question, yes, I do think Conor McGregor has improved more since then.
I disagree completely. I think Dustin Poirier has built a whole entire new fighting style. I think he's a completely different fighter. I think he's got much better footwork. He's got much better power. He's got a lot more confidence, and he's a lot better of a combination striker. Mm-hmm. Against Dan Hooker. Usually, because Poirier is a pretty long dude and he's pretty big and he hits really fucking hard. He punches hard and he's got fast hands and he's got great combination. He's got really, really good punch combinations. He puts combinations together well. Mm-hmm. I think the problem that he had with Hooker, where Hooker had success in that fight, was he thought he was going to be able to stay at Hooker's range and exchange strikes and outspeed him with his hands. He realized in that fight right around the middle part of the second round that he's not going to be able to do that, that he has to take one to give one, and he has to really walk through Hooker's shots to get into range. I think Conor is a really, really long and lengthy striker, and like Dustin may hit a bag and may hit someone harder than Conor, but Conor's got way better timing, way better precision. Conor has that old school Anderson Silva prime type speed and timing. You can tell he hits hard, but you don't need to hit hard when, it's like shooting someone in the eye with a 22. You shot them in the eye with a 22, they're fucked. Like, it doesn't matter where you hit them. So I really like Hooker. I think Hooker deserves this fight. He's one of the.
You keep saying Hooker, bro. It's
I don't know about Poirier. I did that last fucking podcast too. I think I think Poirier really deserves this fight, win, lose, or draw. I think he deserves this fight. He deserves a payday. He deserves the pay-per-view points. He deserves the money. He's a great B-side for Conor. I think Conor is like the worst matchup for him in the whole division. I truly think he beats everybody else at 55 besides Conor. I think he can give Conor fits. I think he's a better combination puncher and a harder hitter than Nate Diaz. I think Nate Diaz is a little more durable than Poirier, but they're both fucking hittable. If Poirier can make it a dirty fight and make exchanges and get inside of Conor's range and not allow Conor to hit him with distance strikes, Conor is really, really good at setting traps. He will throw a spinning hook kick to make you circle into his power hand, put you up against a cage and just fire a fucking piston and hit you right in the jaw and you go to sleep. I think Poirier has to fight the perfect fight to win this fight. It is a winnable fight. Every fight is a winnable fight, What is the line? I think Poirier's plus 280.
250 is what I had him. I got FanDuel right here. Let's see. He is plus 250 still on FanDuel. Conor's 325.
Yeah, he's a big favorite, but as he should be with his name and all that stuff.
I'm gonna jot you down for Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, I'm picking Dustin Poirier.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. I was just joking. I thought you were picking Conor because you talking a lot of shit about Conor. You're really picking Dustin Poirier.
I'm picking Dustin Poirier.
Wow.
It's something that I'm trying to will into happening.
Sure.
I want Dustin Poirier to win this fight. I think he deserves this. He deserves a fight. And imagine, me, you said it before, I like to watch the world burn. If Dustin Poirier wins this fight, it's the best thing for Dustin Poirier. Yeah. Khabib fucking vacates, and then he fights Conor for a third time for the fucking belt, for the vacant belt.
Yeah.
If he beats Conor, that's what's going to happen. Like,
he beats Conor, he fights the winner, Chandler Hooker, maybe rematch with Hooker, one of the fights of the year. New matchup with Chandler for the belt, right? He was already the interim champion. Max Holloway's there. Max Holloway could always jump up, maybe. I mean, he just wants big fights. And then if he becomes champion, then the third time with Conor, you're right. There's stories built in there. Listen, for a business sense for the UFC, I know if Conor loses, it could be ugly, right? This is the biggest star. But also you're like, oh, wait, Conor's going to want this back. Now he's not going to fight Manny. We're going to have him because he's going to be so motivated to fight Dustin again.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, the storyline's there.
Or he could fuck off and just fight Jorge Masvidal or Nate Diaz at 170.
Who's that? Conor?
Conor.
Yeah.
Those fights are always there.
I think Conor, again, you can only take it with a grain of salt. He did say in an interview that he got his body down now to a one. The reason he never said this before, but the reason he fought Cowboys, he didn't want to make 155. Now he can't. He has his body set. So I think he's going to want to stay at 55. But yeah, you're right. I mean, look, money talks. I mean, listen, he's got to weigh like 150 something to fight Manny. Manny's fucking tiny. Anyway, you're picking Dustin Poirier. I'm surprised by that. Listen, I am a Conor guy, so I'm picking Conor. No one that's no secret here. Dustin Poirier is a guy I really like. I had some hard feelings about him with the Khabib fight because I felt like he could have done better and he kind of quit on us. But he's a good dude. Like, he posted pictures of him and his wife. He's been with his wife since he was like 12 or something. That's awesome, right? I'm a romance guy. That's really cool. His wife's in town with them. They both have great families. His daughter's adorable. But to fighting, Dustin Poirier is very, very good. His boxing's gotten much better. Like you said, we disagreed on who's gotten better. Dustin Poirier's boxing's gotten a lot better. His chin, to me, has held up. He does get buzzed in fights. I think if he gets buzzed against Conor, I think it might be over. He's always been knocked out before, but I don't think he has a chin issue. But a couple guys have buzzed him. Gaethje buzzed him. Eddie buzzed him. Dan Hooker.
Like, that's what it is. He gets in fights with guys that are top 5 ranked in the UFC.
I don't think you can do that with Conor. I think Conor is special. I think Conor is one of those guys where either you love him or hate him, right? There's not really many in-betweens. If you love him, like me, you think he's the greatest fighter in the world. Obviously, he's not. I mean, I know he's not pound for pound the best fighter in the world. I'm not fucking stupid, but I do think he's incredibly talented. I think he's set up and he's destined now that Khabib is gone to win the title. I think he beats Dustin. I think he knocks Dustin out. I think he beats the winner of Chandler Hooker. I think he gets that strap, and I think he maybe defends it against Nate. Nate's talking about going to 55, and then maybe Conor's going to box or do whatever the fuck he wants. Maybe Khabib will come out. There's a lot of storylines out there. Khabib Conor is going to be the biggest fight in MMA history. We all know it. I just think Conor's too fast. I think Dustin Poirier is too slow. He does throw really good combinations. He does defense isn't the best. I think Conor has some of the best counters in the business. His reflexes are super sharp. He's pinpoint accurate, and I think he's really fast at 155. I also wish there was a prop. I've heard some sharps and some people, maybe not even sharps, just some people talking that, oh, well, Dustin has the advantage on the ground. I'd love to see him take the ground. Dustin Poirier's got a great submission game. There's no doubt about that. If anybody's going to win by submission, it's Dustin Poirier. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I wish there was a prop I could prop. There's no way Dustin Poirier is taking down Conor McGregor. He's just not. He's not a wrestler. He's not going to do it. Conor McGregor isn't a world-class wrestler, but he's a world-class athlete, right? His takedown defense is pretty solid. I don't see that happening. It is a 5-round fight. A lot of people, and it's fair, say Conor has a cardio issue. Dustin Poirier does not. Conor's predicting 60-second knockout. Then he's kind of flirting with the idea of maybe it going longer or whatever. That's just the Conor McGregor. I think it happens early. I think if Conor gets him out of there, it happens early. I think Dustin Poirier only gets better when the fight goes on. He lost that first round to Dan Hooker. He lost those early rounds to Justin Gaethje. The longer the fight goes, the more it favors Dustin Poirier because Conor McGregor has gassed in the Khabib fight, has gassed in the Nate Diaz fight, had gassed in the Mayweather fight. Cardio could be an issue. This is a new Conor McGregor, new training, new this, new weight, whatever. We'll see. I think Conor McGregor is a knock him out. I'm putting a hefty bet on Conor McGregor, even at minus 325. I'm going to probably bet him multiple ways by prop, by knockout. I think I'm going to do first 2 rounds KO because I think if Conor wins, it has to be within the first 2 rounds. If it gets into the dog rounds, it gets into championship rounds, it's going to be a fucking fight. And I can't wait.
More of a dog? Huh? Who's got more of a dog in him? Poirier.
I mean, you're just asking for questions that it's obviously Poirier. We've only seen Conor dig deep once, and that was in the Nate Diaz second fight. He was gassed out, and he had to come back and win that 5th round. I thought he did. Very close fight, but he had to dig deep. But Dustin Poirier is a fucking dog. I mean, the guy's a pure animal. He's a fucking stud. No question about it. I like Dustin Poirier. I think he's a good person. I like the Fight Foundation. And I'm glad that these two are being a little cordial. I love the shit talking Conor. I love the theatrics Conor, but he seems laser focused and ready to go. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, time to get our locks. Listen, I'm gonna pick the same locks. You know the rules. You beat me Wednesday, so you'll get the opportunity. Do you want to pick your underdog lock first, your send them home, or your mortal lock? Which one do you want to get first dibs at?
So you got the numbers right in front of you. Who are my dogs?
Your dogs are Michael Chandler. Your dogs are Dustin Poirier. Your dogs are Antonio Carlos Jr. And I think that's it. Yeah, those are your 3 dogs. Antonio Shoeface, Chandler, and Poirier.
I can't believe I went underdogs on the fucking co-main and main event.
I love it.
I'm trying to will Poirier into. I think it's like a 75-25 odds for Conor, honestly, percentage-wise. Like, I think Conor is a rightful almost 4-1 favorite. Mm-hmm. But I just want fucking Poirier to win. I'm going to go with Chandler as my underdog lock, though. Mm-hmm. I think that's a lot closer of a fight than both of the other fights. I don't know what's going to happen in the Shoeface fight. I can't really picture what's going to happen. I can picture what I want to happen and what possibly could happen, but I can't really picture the fight in my head. I can picture Chandler out grappling Hooker. I think that's how he wins that fight. I'm
my underdog lock, you cocksucker. So good pick there. You got Michael Chandler as a dog lock. I'm gonna go Matt Frivola. I don't have many locks. This is a very chalky card for me. I like Chandler as a dog. I like Frivola as a dog. I don't like Marina Rodriguez. I have a crush on it, but I don't love that. Dev thinks it's a spite pick, and I really didn't pick that many other dogs, So I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with Frivola there. So mortal lock time. I'm gonna pick my mortal lock. You know what? No, I'm going to go send him home. I want to pick my send him home. My send him home, it's a fucking no-brainer. It's a layup. It's clear Roundtree. He's going to knock out Prachnio within the first 2 rounds, guaranteed, probably first round without question. I know that was Devins. I could tell he's disappointed. But yeah, clear Roundtree, send him home, baby. Book it, lock it up. Dev, who's your send him home, baby? Who's getting that dub? Who's sending him home early? No judges needed.
So there's a couple of knockout guys on the card. Miradov, he's a knockout guy. Khalil Roundtree's finisher, especially against his opponent. That guy's got no chin. I'm torn on this. Oh, God. Let me just look at this really quickly.
Pull it. Pull the trigger.
I send him home. I'm torn between Mahmed and I'm torn between Ottman, honestly, because both of those guys are.
I mean, Ottman's got fucking 100 knockouts, according to you, dude. What are you torn about?
I'm taking Ottman.
The only way that guy's gonna win is by fucking knockout. He ain't gonna win a decision. Send him home. Send him home, motherfucking Ottman. I talked you off that scent because my mortal lock is Makhmed Muradov, and if you would have taken him as the fucking 10-1, couldn't do it. He's a dog. He's my mortal lock, baby. Close fight, -138. That is, you can make money off that. I'm giving you, I was going to go Conor McGregor, right? That's too obvious of a pick. He's a -325. Everyone in the world's going to bet that fight. I want to give you a fight. It's the 3rd fight of the night. A lot of people might not know who this kid is. I think he's a fucking stud. He's my mortal lock, -138. Let's go. Mortal lock, Dev. Last lock. Who you got?
Ooh, I'm torn again between Sarukian and Ribas.
I knew Arman was up there for me too. I had 3 guys. If you bumped me off one, I was gonna go.
Man.
Now, if you go Ribas and she loses, you lose a point. That's the new rule. Arman is right below the threshold that if he loses, you won't lose a point. Just to keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah. Give me Sarukian.
Sarukian, Devins, lock. I'm excited. I'm glad we did this. I know it's late. I know I got to work in a few hours. I got to post this podcast, but
jeez, this
is a fucking fire card, dude. I'm excited. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, it's not that great. There's not huge names on it. But after you and I just broke it down, and you and I are hardcore, and we know every fighter on this card, there's some sick fights here, and I'm gonna probably bet every single one of them because I'm a fucking degenerate. All right, that's it. That was great. Let's see what Matt says. Matt says, I want to parlay Chandler McGregor. I like that parlay. I picked both those guys. And then might add Otsman to that bitch. Or no, wait, to that, to be honest. I thought he said, I don't know what I'm reading there. I like that. Listen, Ottman is a fucking cracker. All right, that's it. Dev, thank you for doing this. Pick him always. We'll do that next week. And we'll do it, baby. All right, that's it, everybody. Thank you. See ya.